your reading. So I hope you like the new setup. You're the first people to get it. Now, look, I cut the deck, I shuffled and cut the deck, but then something happened, so I had to stop it. But I haven't gone through with the reading yet, so let's jump into it, okay? All right, hope you guys have been well. Okay, maybe not so much. Okay, maybe you haven't been so well. Okay, you've started off with the Five of Swords defeat. This is telling me of mental defeat. This is something like something that hasn't begun, that's being put off, that's being delayed. Maybe it's like a business or like a project or something. There's something that's been put off, and it's because of this mental defeat. I'm getting that this is like somebody else though. Like this isn't your stuff. This is someone else. Yeah, almost like they're putting the blocks in your way, and it's the way they're communicating, it's the way they're showing up that's making you feel defeated. It's kind of like you're trying, but people just keep blocking you. People just keep messing with you in that sort of way, and it's doing your head in, and it's kind of got you in this state of energetic lack. Like you can't move forward. Like it's just kind of like why bother kind of energy. Like why even try? Okay, what's crossing you? The Three of Swords. Okay. Yeah, this is telling me that this isn't you. This is Three of Swords is sorrow. It's, yeah, it's almost like you haven't got any energy left in the tank. Spirit saying it's like they're siphoning your fuel out of your tank. And it's just like, I just can't. Like, I feel this energy. Like, I can't even get out of bed. Like, why bother getting up? Why bother even breathing? Like, why bother even showering or feeding myself? That's kind of the energy. I mean, most of you probably won't be in all of that extreme, but it is that kind of energy that, like, I just can't keep doing this kind of energy. We'll see what's underneath, what's hidden. Yes, okay. Knight of Discs. All right. So when the Knight of Discs comes out like this is telling me that whatever's going on, don't feel disheartened by it. It's okay to accept and acknowledge the emotions it's causing you, because those emotions, especially if they're negative, they're going to cause you action. Like it's a call to action. Kind of like if you've got, like, I don't know, back pain or foot pain and it's really strong, you're going to go check that out. That's your body's way of saying, hey, look over here, something's not right. You need to pay attention to this area of your body. Spirit's saying that this mentally is the same thing. You're being prepared, things are being highlighted. This is a test to see if you can set your boundaries. And because it's not just a test, it's also like help. It's like they're trying to get you to see what's wrong by allowing you to see what's wrong, rather than protect you from it, rather than, make you feel all good about it. They're kind of like, no, like, okay, Spirit's saying that a lot of you are pushing forward, like you just keep pushing forward, and because of that, you're not stopping and looking at the things that you need to look at. So Spirit's going to make these things happen and bring them to the forefront. Also, just heads up, Gemini, because you're an air sign and I'm a Gemini too, so heads up for me as well. um, we've got a Mercury retrograde coming up in a few weeks, and depending on when you see this video, it might not apply. But if you see it before this retrograde, understand that these things are going to continue and they may even ramp up, but you need to know that this Knight of Discs that's under the surface, you are shielded and protected from this getting out of hand, even when it feels like, when it happens, just it happening alone is being out of hand. It shouldn't happen. You're right. It shouldn't happen. That's why Spirit's showing you why it shouldn't happen and what you need to do to make sure it doesn't continue to happen. And it may not be anything you can do immediately, but it could be something that you need to be aware of. So like, oh, okay, this workplace, this workplace is defeating me mentally, and I feel like I'm just ready for a breakdown, or I feel like my family just keep overstepping my boundaries. These types of things are being shown to you so that you can handle them, not just fix them or try and cope with them a little bit better. Spirit's saying this needs like an overhaul. You need to look critically at these situations that are causing you this feeling of defeat and sorrow, and realize that all of this is being allowed by spirit because you're supposed to become stronger and more capable and more and wiser than you were before. If they helped you through whatever is causing you this mental sorrow and this feeling of defeat, if they just pulled you out of it, you wouldn't learn. You'd stay innocent, naive, unwise. So Spirit's saying you're protected. You are protected. And the Knight of Discs attracts things. He's actively doing things to cultivate a future outcome. And that's what this is under the surface. This is what you don't see beneath everything, beneath the pain, beneath the suffering, all the thoughts, all the depression, all of that. This is being done in a way where it's not supposed to make you be stuck in these negative emotions, but these negative emotions, this mental defeat and this pain in your mind, in your consciousness, in your soul, that is supposed to be a call to action. Just like when, the foot pain or the back pain, it's a call to action. It's a call to look at something that spirit can see is causing you pain. Yeah, spirit's just saying, just like back pain, you guys have gotten used to it. You've gotten used to the sorrow, the pain, the defeat. And spirit's saying it's keeping you blocked in ways that you can't see. So they're putting, they're kind of just like shaking it all up and stirring it all up so that you can clear it out, rather than having all of this pain just settled at the bottom of your spirit, like condensed and compacted. So they're bringing it up. But we'll get some advice. We'll figure out like why and who and what and how to help and how to push through it all. Spirits, we've got you. All right. So what's cool? You see this? This is your past position. What's happened in the recent past to past-ish. It's the accumulation of all the past. But Ace of Swords, yeah. See, awareness. Things have been happening, and I feel like you've already switched on to the awareness. That's telling me you already see what's happening. It's almost just like, instead of holding, I don't want to say a high vibration, but holding, actually, yeah, I will say that. Instead of holding a high vibration, you've seen it and allowed that thought and that awareness to overwhelm you. Like the emotions that come from these realizations that you've had in the past have now overwhelmed you, and all you can feel, but the majority of what you're feeling at this present time seems to be defeat and sorrow mentally. Like I can't figure my way out of this. I can't think my way. I can't plan my way. I can't, like, no matter how much I'm writing on paper, no matter how many charts, no matter how many this and that I do, I just can't get past this. It's because you're not supposed to handle this directly. You're supposed to handle this within yourself, only making yourself the focus rather than trying to retaliate, rather than trying to get everyone to agree with what you're saying, like what you're seeing and experiencing. Spirit's saying, you don't need this validation. Needing that validation is what's keeping you stuck. We're not trying to put you through this or show you things that hurt you. We're trying to show you the things that are hurting you so that you've got the awareness to move past it. Oops, I didn't set my little timer. Uh-oh. That's all right. It's a half-hour hourglass. Half-hour hourglass, oh my goodness. Okay. This is the hopes, the fears, okay. So above it all, you've got the Seven of Discs. The card's called Failure, but it's not failure. It's kind of like the way you're looking at this situation. You've got defeat, sorrow, and failure. That's not how things are. Like, yeah, maybe things did fail and didn't work out. Like maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a living situation, maybe a job, a business venture, something. But Spirit's saying that they're saying this is the exact wording. All the things that are destined for you will be for you. The only difference is, will you squander these things when you receive them? And that's why they made you aware of these things, so that you could fortify yourself, because in the future things like this might happen. And if it does, whatever blessings you create, whatever gardens you grow, whatever, things you invest in, it will rock you just as hard, and it will spoil the thing. It will fail. It will collapse because there'll be too many things from the past all coming to a head the moment one thing happens. It's kind of like that energy of like if you've had a bad history with friends or exes or something, if one person does one thing and it triggers you in a way, that person becomes or can sometimes become the recipient of all the pain from the past, even though they didn't do this and that and this and that, and they're not responsible. But because that person didn't deal with it, it's being projected on to the people around them and the situations around them, causing things to collapse. So that's why they're bringing up this stuff. That's why they made you aware of the pain and the ways that you're being wronged, so that you would understand better how to guard yourself against that in the future, how to maneuver these things when they come up, and be fortified and grounded enough that you won't be rocked and that you can't have these blessings collapsed by these toxic people. And Spirit wants you to know that they know. Spirit knows what's happened and what's been done, what's been lied about, whether we gaslight ourselves or the people that screw us over gaslight themselves into thinking that we're justified. Spirit knows. So if you know that what you're doing, like what's happening, is not fair, understand that Spirit's got your back and you've got the capacity to overcome it. That's why they've made you hyper aware. And because, okay, Spirit's just saying, because of this hyper awareness, you've likely been the black sheep of the family. You see things that other people can and can't see, but the people who can see what you see refuse to acknowledge it. And that's the difference. You can't not acknowledge it. It's like once it gets in that Gemini brain of yours, it's going to rattle around until there's a conclusion. All right, let's see what we got coming up. Aha. Aha. The ending of a cycle, the things that were hidden being revealed. Spirit saying you need to raise your vibration, do the energetic spiritual work that you know how to do to fortify yourself, especially on the days where you don't feel like doing it. Those are the days you should absolutely do it. Yeah, there's the things that you feel aren't revealed now about situations and people and intentions and things. They're coming up. They're coming up. As long as you can continue on the path that you're on, because Spirit's saying you are on a good path because you're standing here in the Knight of Discs, which means you're protected, but you're also moving forward. You are taking action, but there's this sense of like, why even bother? Like, why even make new friends if all my friends keep like screwing me over? Why even date if that keeps happening and all I keep attracting crazies and narcissists and all sorts of crazy people that stalk me or this or that? Like that kind of energy, it's shifting. It really is shifting. And I feel like you're already aware of that shift. But that Spirit's telling me that to you, it doesn't make it any easier. It's like, I know you've got my back, Spirit. I know what I'm seeing is true. But like, because of these things keep failing, things keep stopping. Like, but Spirit's saying, it's gonna stop. It will stop. These cycles are ending. They're wrapping things up for you. If these are cycles that have been going on for a while, like repeated bad relationships, family members, lovers, friends, whatever, work situation, that's all wrapping up. And what's going to be left is the strength that you gain from that. Life is about to get easier. I don't know. That's not something I normally say in readings, but that is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Life's about to get easier. Whether or not you're going to carry that wisdom forward with you in that easy life is yet to be determined. Because, yeah, they're saying if you let this sense of defeat and sorrow overwhelm you, it will. It will. But understand that you've gone through everything you've gone through and you're still alive, you're still here. You've gone through it, you'll get through this too. The only difference is you used to look back and say, I wish I had done that better. I could have handled this better. I wish I had this awareness. This is what that's about, so that you don't end up looking back at this time in 10 years' time or however many years' time and thinking, I wish I had handled this better. Because Spirit's saying it's not that you've handled it poorly yet, but there's a strong potential for the future blessings to be handled poorly. And that's why they're trying to make sure that you can get your mind in order to become more grounded, more aware of your own power, so that when people come and try and screw with it, screw with your life, screw with your power, you're going to be fortified, grounded, immovable, unshakable. And then their chaos, their drama, it won't topple your tower anymore. But you've got to move through this moment, this time in your life, especially the recent things, because this Ace of Swords keeps looking at me, and there's something that's happened recently and you've just become super aware. But this awareness is causing you sorrow and defeat because no one else is doing anything about it. No one else is seeing what you're seeing. But they're not supposed to. This is supposed to be you, your awareness, and it's supposed to show you how wise you are by comparison to the people that can't see it, or how strong you are by the comparison to the people who can see what you've seen but refuse to act and make things better for you, for the situation, to do right by you and the situation, but they won't, and they're not supposed to. This awareness is all for you, and it is a blessing. Make sure you know that it is a blessing. It's planting the seeds for something to grow in the future, and it will blossom. Spirit's saying, yeah, but if you don't move past this and really hold your own, and you can do it. Spirit's saying, we wouldn't put you through this if you couldn't do it. So if you can manage to just pick yourself up and go, you know what? Yeah, this sucks, but this will pass. And I'm going to be stronger for it. Just like in the past, I'm going to be stronger for this too. So just breathe and move through it. Because Spirit's saying, depending on how you handle this now, today, will depend on how much fruit you have in the future on that tree that grew from those seeds that you planted today. And there is a tree, Spirit's handed you the seeds, the water, they've given you great soil. Spirit just showed me. They said, yeah, all the things that broke down in the past are now breaking down into the soil. And there's a lot. There was a lot of nutrients to break down into that soil. There's a lot of things in the past that didn't grow, didn't progress. And that's what they're saying is like, you've got fertile soil and you know it. Because so much was planted and so much didn't come to pass, and all of that nutrient, the plant dies, but the nutrients go back into the soil, and all the nutrients of the things that have failed in your life, that's in your soil right now, ready for you to plant a new seed into it, and your seeds, your plants will grow far bigger, more bountiful, stronger than all the other plants who had gardens that planted first go and nothing's really died or dropped. There's no leaves or seeds or fruits or anything on the ground. It's just this regular soil, and it's growing, it's healthy, that's great. But yours, it's like you're frustrated that your plants don't grow, and Spirit's saying that's because we needed the soil to be at a certain level of nutrients to handle the level of nutrients that your tree is going to need, and your tree is bloody big, mate. Like, oh, all right. That's strange. I wasn't going to pull another card, but I just did. You've got the ten of discs. Wealth. Tree. Oh, snap. Tree of life. So, okay. It's arranged in like a tree of life. Set up like Kabbalistic tree of life. Huh. Wealth. The completion. Oh, okay. Spirit's just saying, put it over the top. All right. That's what rules this whole reading. Wealth. So, like completion, satiety. This is the happy ever after card. This is the happy ever after card. Spirit just keeps saying this is, oh, okay. Look at the bottom. So when I break the deck, like, let's say I break it, I put that there, then I start dealing from the top. It's the bottom card that's the overall ending. Look what you've got. The Lovers, union, masculine, feminine, perfect balance, companionship. But Spirit's saying, okay, Spirit's just correcting me. This isn't companionship in the lover's sense. This is your own inner workings. Black, white, male, female, on, off, duality, polarity in its most perfected form. You've got a little angel with an arrow shooting away from you, It's almost like it's defending you. And you sit, sorry, I'm not used to this setup, so I don't know what you can see. I don't know if you can see, but behind there's the two cherubs or kids or something. Then there's the adults. Then there's this being with his hands out and he's wearing a hood and that's his beard there. It's a wizard. And it's like he's going, ooh, like over these people trying to mess with them. Spirit saying, don't worry, your enemies have got it coming. Which is good to know because that means it's mine too. I just realized I'm a Gemini too. I haven't really been taking on this for me, but I definitely will at the end. Yeah, the little hocus pocus, the little energy work, them trying to reach out energetically to make you feel their energy. It's all being blocked and it's all just building up like a knife, like a hammer, like an anvil over their head, waiting to drop. And the more energy they put into this, the harder it's going to hit them when it finally does drop. Because Spirit's showing me a string attached to an anvil. Sorry, anvil attached to a string. And it's hanging over your enemy's head. This little worker in the background, and it might not be a spiritual worker, it could just be like meddling people, like busybodies at work trying to cause you issues, or an ex-lover that's stalking you or something like that, or trying to, maybe an ex-friend trying to do magic, or trying to get someone to do something on you. I don't know, whatever it is that you're worried about, Spirit's saying if you can just keep going, don't focus on them for a second, because then they have your energy. You just don't do it. Don't do it. Like I've cut out, God, there's someone I cut out recently and oh, that energy's gone. Like I just, but they want to reach out. Like they want to have your energy because they're not willing to work on themselves. So they're trying to manipulate yours so that you don't have what you have, or so that you give them what you've cut them off from. But Spirit's saying, we've got angels with arrows ready to fire, but what they showed me clairvoyantly was a big black anvil attached to this big thick rope. Actually, it wasn't really, really thick, but like the size of your finger, but it was hanging. And it was like any efforts that they keep trying to make to ruin your life, to harass you, to whatever it is, it's adding to the weight of the anvil that rests above their head. And Spirit will be cutting that cord. It could have been as light as a feather and they wouldn't have even noticed. But because they keep investing in your failure, in your misery, trying to violate your boundaries, Spirit saying all of that's being collected, you haven't seen yet. And I think that's what I'm getting here too, is like, I'm Spirit. Yeah, yeah, they're saying it's like this sense of failure, like, and defeat and sorrow, like people aren't getting their karma for what they're doing to you. But trust me, they are. You just haven't seen it yet because Spirit hasn't cut that cord yet, but they're going to chop that little rope holding that anvil, and everything they did to you, all the harassment, all the denial, the gaslighting, all of that, all the lies, manipulations, the attacks, that hasn't hit them yet and you haven't seen it. And that's why it's been added to this anvil that's looming over the enemy's head, or multiple enemies. It could be a work situation, whoever, whatever it is. Mark my words. Spirit is being. They are this close to chopping that rope. They are going, but that's a guarantee. They are going to chop it, and they're saying that moment's coming up very soon, very, very soon. So you're probably seeing, and maybe even in this retrograde, you'll see people reaching out that you think, oh God, they're toxic. Oh, they're back. Trust me, if you set that boundary, if you and they know that you don't want them in your life, and even if you don't, even if you're unaware, yeah, even if you're unaware of this, Spirit's saying, the moment's coming, the scissors are out, and they're ready. They're just waiting to see how much extra weight your energy, your enemies, your gaslighting narcissistic types are going to add to that anvil. Whether they're going to lie, harass, threaten, intimidate you, whatever it is, it's about to collapse. And it's nothing you're doing. This is all them. And it's nothing they can avoid either. No amount of cleansings, no amount of, this or that, because when it's your own personal actions, that's tied to you on a soul level. If it was something else, something someone else did, different story, but something that they're doing to you that's wrong, mark my words, it's coming. It's coming for them. And it's gonna snap them, like whatever this energy is. And you started out in the gain, so I realized I didn't touch on that. Starting out in gain, the Knight of Discs, and then you end up in the 10. This is telling me like you're working towards your happy ever after, but that yet because of all this sense of sorrow and failure, it just feels like you haven't got any energy left to keep trying, or like what's the point? Trust me, this feeling of failure and sorrow, that is the point. It's a call to action. So rise up, get up, do what you've got to do, start doing it, and get excited about it. Get really excited about it. Don't just leave it and be like, oh, I guess I'll do that thing. I guess I like gardening, or I guess I like macrame, or I don't know, whatever you do. Whatever it is that brings you to life. Even if you can't do it yet, like even if it's a spirit saying, even just get excited about planning it. Like, oh, I want to be this, I want to do that. What would I need to do or be to get to that point? Start researching and have fun researching it. Put some awesome music on, have a nice day. Like maybe put some music on, clean your house, have a nice day, figure it out. And even if you can't figure it out, like Spirit's got your back. Just keep maintaining your high vibration. Do what you know how to do. Cleanse your energy. Try and see the divinity in the situation. Because, yeah, Spirit's saying that the tree that you've got growing that's coming for you, the soil, all these failures, all this issue, the things that you could see that other people couldn't, all of that was to enrich your soil so that when the moment came, they would hand you the seeds, your trees would grow. The lovers, like everything comes into balance once this seed starts to grow. And it'll grow. It'll grow. I'm getting that it's going to grow. Like you've already put in the effort, so that doesn't have to keep being maintained. What now has to be maintained is the future outlook. Instead of looking at what didn't happen in the past, acknowledge what you've realized, what you've recognized, the wisdom that you've gained, but then move past it. Look to the future and look at it like it was fertilizer for your life, for your soil, for the garden that you're about to grow. So be excited. Be excited that all of these plants and all of these things that had to be sacrificed and fall to the wayside, yeah, they collapsed and they crumbled and they rot and they disintegrate energetically. But that energy has to go somewhere, and Spirit's saying it wasn't siphoned off. It wasn't given to anyone. It's still given to you. It's still yours. Except now they've taken all the failures and enriched the soil. That's what that was for. It wasn't to punish you. It wasn't because you weren't enough. It was because what was coming for you needed to have something strong and nourished. Because I'm getting what you're seeing, what you've been experiencing, these awarenesses that you've had of the people around you and the circumstances around you haven't been nourishing. And they felt like you've been investing into other people's gardens. And you have. Some of that energy did go, but it wasn't that's your energy. It was stuff that you've given away until you realized, I'm not going to give more energy to these people. I'm not going to give more of myself to this. You cut off their supply. When you did that, all of a sudden, anything that fell from your tree, from your life, goes back into the soil rather than into their soil so that they can have prosperity and happiness and all that. So yeah, good for you. Like, just keep pushing through. Keep pushing through and understand that this Mercury retrograde could be a little testing. But I promise if you can maintain your vibration and just keep looking to the things that you're trying to invest in for your future, investing in that now, especially when these things are coming up and in the future for the retrograde or whenever in the future, these things that are coming up are supposed to get you to turn to your garden and start planting your seeds. Because you've got the strength to fortify against these pests, these parasites that keep trying to latch onto your life and suck you dry of all the energy that you've got. Spirit saying you've got the tools. You've got the pesticide. you know how to use it. So start maintaining your garden now. It may feel like there's no point because the garden might be bare, but Spirit's saying what you don't see is all the nutrients that were enriched into that bare garden. People might walk past another garden with beautiful flowers. It might not have much. It might only have a few little scraggly weeds with some flowers. But when you plant your seeds in there, the things that you really want to grow, it's going to grow. And it's going to grow like crazy. So keep handling your business. The fruit will come. I feel like I was going to do more, but I feel like that might be it. I don't know. What are we doing? Spirit? Okay, 3 cards from this deck. All right. What have we got for Gemini? Spirit, what have we got? Recklessness? Oh my goodness. Recklessness, resurrection. Or resurrection, recklessness, I should say. And we need 2 more to clarify that. Thank you, Spirit. What's this one? Meditation. I'm not even joking. I was just thinking about purple wisteria before I did this reading it for a totally separate reason. It's interesting because I did talk about the garden. Oh, hello. Here we are. Insight. All right. So you've got recklessness, meditation, spell work, insight. Yep. So that's telling me the recklessness of the past. That's the awareness. That's what you've been dealing with, and it's kind of like there's this reckless, like relentless energy. But Spirit's saying you need to go within, take stock of all your power, take stock of which direction you want to pour that power into, which part of the garden you want to plant those seeds in, how many seeds, what are the seeds, what type of seed, like all of that. That's the wisteria tree. Well, I think it's actually a vine, but I think there's a tree version, I'm not sure. But in this reading, there's a tree there. And insight is the future. Like that's telling me that meditation and insight, you'll have the insight about why all this failed. It's exactly what I was saying. And you might not be able to see it now because you're still in the sorry, still in that sense of defeat. But I promise you, ask Spirit for help and say, I'm ready. I am so ready to plant my seed, Spirit. Here's what I want to do. If you don't know what you want to do, get excited because you get to like brainstorm and think about like all the cool things that you could be doing, all the directions Spirit could help you go in. So no matter where you're at, get excited about the future. Get hopeful about the future because Spirit's saying you've got the garden ready. And they've allowed you to plant seeds in the past because they knew that it wouldn't work out, but they knew that those seeds, those circumstances, those situations, experiences would all serve to nourish the future. And that's why they allowed the things to fail. There may have been moments where you asked Spirit for direction and they told you to go in a direction that caused you pain. That's why. It's not because they wanted you to suffer. Well, they kind of did in a way, but not as a punishment. They don't enjoy you suffering, but they understand the divinity in suffering. Because when you suffer, you understand what it's like to be mistreated. You understand how it feels to be on the receiving end of some sort of poor behavior, bad treatment, neglect, abuse. Then you've got that capacity to go and help people in the future, to go and stand on your own because you've got the tools, you've dealt with it, you're not going to be shaken up because it's not new to you. It's not new, so that you're going to, when it comes up, you'll handle it. You'll know what to do. It won't throw you off balance like it would people who haven't been through that abuse, who haven't been through that suffering or that lack. But Spirit's saying the lack's over. They're saying it's definitely over. This tree, these seeds that you're going to plant from now on isn't going to be for the soil. It's going to be for the fruit. And Spirit's saying that's why all these things failed, because all of that in the past was for the soil. It wasn't for the fruit. It was to enrich the soil, to get it prepared for the type of magnanimous tree that is going to grow. I just heard the word magnanimous. It came, so that's what I said. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helped. I've got personal readings through my website. I also do tutoring when it comes to the craft and psychic ability, so let me know if you want that. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Blessed be.